Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. I hope you guys are doing great. In today's video, we are going to model the Seagram building. It is one of the most prominent buildings in terms of studying architecture. All the important links to the video have been given in the description below, so make sure you check them out. And without further ado, let's get started. The first thing that we are going to do is, even before the modeling part, is that we are going to bring in the reference images to start with the modeling itself. Reference images are very important for architectural modeling because it gives you the sense of actual scale, and if you're going to be accurate, then it is even more important. So what I'll do is I'll go into the top view by pressing 7 and then delete all of them. Now I'll press shift plus A, and over here in the image section I'll bring reference image which I downloaded. So the first thing that I'm going to bring in is the ground floor plan. So the ground floor plan has been brought because it has this column layout which we are going to make as the very first thing. But even before that, first we have to set this to scale. Setting the diagram to scale is very important as it will help us later on when we are going to do other measurements. Then we won't have to calculate it that much. So to make it easier, first I'll click over here and click on transparency and reduce its opacity. Over here now I'll go into the mesh and select a plane. Now what I'll do is, as I checked on the internet, the dimensions of the building were that the x-axis dimensions were 43 meters and along the y-axis they were 26 meters, which means that the building is 43 meters wide and 26 meters deep. Now we know that this is the overall dimension of the building. So next we can select this plan and then work accordingly with it. Now I'll set this to this according to this reference plane. Now that we have set this, I'm not going to delete this plane as of now. I'll keep this for later and I'll let you know why I have kept it. Now over here you can see that there are these columns. So the first thing that will come in mind is to take a cube and then place it above this column and scale it down to the size of the column. The next thing that we are going to do is we are not going to duplicate it again and again using the shift D option. But if you can see, there's been a pattern that is being repeated or kind of a grid of these columns. So in this case, the array modifier is going to work the best for us because over here first we can array it along the x-axis, so we will get these columns. Then this whole line can be arrayed and then we'll get these columns. So that's what I'll do now. I'll go into the modifier tab and over here I'll select the array modifier. Also I'll give it a factor of roughly wherever the next column is placed on this diagram. Now I'll increase the count to the number that we want. So over here 6 columns are placed on the x-axis and this is how we have done it. Now if I switch it off, you can see there is only this one cube that we made at first. Now to array this whole thing, I'm going to use another array modifier which will work along the y-axis and the x-axis will be at 0. So now you can see that the columns are being arrayed along the y-axis, or they are being repeated, to say it in simpler words. Now again I'll do it 3 and 4 times because there are 4 times that this column is being placed along the y-axis. We are not going to worry about this building and this part of this building, and I'll let you know why we are not focusing on that. So for now we are already done with the column layout. So I'll rename them as columns basically. Now what I can do is I can hide them for now. Now over here we are going to create this ground floor plan, but don't worry, we don't have to go into too much depth because anyway we are going to see the exterior part of the building. We are only focusing on the plan because we don't want it to look too empty from the inside when we are on the rendering part, which will happen in the further video. So for that we are going to create some part of this plan which will also help you in other projects. So the first thing that we are going to do is, before even starting, you can plan out that how we are going to make it. So you can see that there is a pattern over here. This part and this part are almost same, which is they are being mirrored. Even though the internal layout is different, but on some level they are same. So the mirror modifier would help us a lot. So what I'll do is I only make one side and we'll mirror the other part of it. Now I'll go over here and select a cube, scale it along y-axis so that it has been given the same thickness as this wall. Now I'll go into the edit mode by pressing tab and then press G and then press X. So now I'll bring this edge to this point. Now what I'll do is I'll select only these two vertices and then press G and then press X. Now over here I can extrude it and then again extrude it and again and yet again. Similarly, this can be done for this as well. Because we are not going to see this part, I can directly take it till the last point until over here and till this point. Again I'm going to extrude it till this and then over here and then over here. So now I'm not going to leave it like this. What I'll do is, to make this accurately aligned with it, I'll turn this snapping thing on, and over here I will select the vertex select mode. So now whenever I press G and then press X, now if I hover this cursor over to another vertex, this is where it will start snapping. So over here you can see this small orange circle which is coming along this vertex, which means that it is being snapped to this vertex, and now which means that they are perfectly aligned. Now over here what you can do is you can give some loop cuts and then scale them along the y-axis and bring them over here. Also you can do this another time and then scale them along the y-axis. Now the next part is over here. To extrude them. I can also bring this wall over here by adding the loop cuts, and we could have done it only at that part when we were extruding this wall, but I also wanted to show you how you can add them later using loop cuts. So now that I have selected this, I can extrude it over here and bring it till this point, and then again bring it till this point. Now over here, if you want, you can extrude it till this and then snap it to this. Now that we are done with this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select these two vertices, and over here I'll press Shift D to copy them, and then again start with creating this wall by extruding it, then again extruding it, and yet again extruding them. For now I can turn the snap thing on off. You don't have to worry too much about the wall thicknesses because they won't matter anyway in this case. But as I told you earlier, if you are going to make a detailed model, these are going to be very important. But in our case, as we are going to cover the exterior part mainly, these won't matter as much as they would if you were going to make a, let's say, a project of some residential building. Now again turn this on and then press G and then press X and snap it to this, and then I'll again extrude it and then snap it to this. Now over here you don't have to extrude this and bring it till this point. What you can do is you can select these two vertex and then select these two vertex and then go into edge select mode, and then by pressing space bar you can type bridge edge loops. So this way it bridged these two edge loops and we have a wall over here, and we didn't have to extrude it individually and let them meet. So this is the use of it. Now again, if you want to make this interior part, you can obviously make it, but I'm going to leave it as it is. If you want to make it more detailed, please go ahead. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a mirror modifier over here in this case, and then turn the clipping on. Now you can see that when we go out of edit mode, you can see the whole block being made. Now what I'm going to do is over here in the height, I'm going to give it as 3 meters. But wait, over here you can see that there is a reference image on the screen, and this reference image shows that the ground level is actually not a single floor, but most probably more than one floor, which could be either two floors or somewhere between that. And that is where the next part of the building, which is the main body of the building, starts. So we are not going to give this as 3 meter but as 6 meter. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to press G and then press Z. Now I'm going to place it over here on this surface. I'm going to name this as ground floor. Also, I'm going to name this empty as ground floor plan, GF plan. This empty means the image that we brought in as a reference. Now the next part of this building, as I told earlier, in this image you can see is the body part, or the part where the building starts or where the actual offices are. So for that I have another plan which I got from the internet, and as I told you earlier, all the links are in the description. Make sure you download them to follow along the tutorial. I'm going to go into the reference and bring this image over here. Now again I'm going to scale it until the point where it looks similar in scale to this above one. So now I can turn this ground floor plan off and bring that plane in. Now and again turn this plane off and name this empty as first floor plan. Now what I mean by first floor is that it is a 38 floor building. So obviously there would be floors which could be different in internal layout, but this is the plan available, and most probably this plan would be repeated across most of the floors. So what we are going to do is we are going to only model this floor over here, and then we'll move forward and I'll show you what we are going to do next. But again I'll reduce this opacity of it. Now for this plan, I'm not going to help you model this whole part. I hope that you will model it at home and learn what we had learned in the ground floor plan. I'll just show you the basics over here so that you do not forget them. But I really hope that you will model that. This will help you grasp the understanding of what we are doing here. So now for that, first I'll also switch off the ground floor layer. Now I'll again go over here and select a cube. I'll go into the wireframe mode and then press X, roughly as the thickness of this wall. Now you can select this vertex select mode and then press G and then press Y. Then extrude them, extrude each of it, and then extrude this. Then extrude this, this. And the only reason why we are modeling it is because this is a building which has a total glass curtain wall on all the facades. So if we were not to model this, you would see that when we render the building it would look completely empty from inside, and we have to have something on the inside, right? So that is why it is important. So you don't have to be too accurate with this, but something which helps us translate the idea of this whole building and give that essence would be really used to help. You can turn this off for now. I'll let you know when you need to turn this on. Now again, as I told you, to make things easier, what I'll do is I'll shift D and then press Y and do all of this while you are in edit mode. I'll again extrude it over here till this point, and let's say extrude it till this point. I hope you are getting the essence of what we are trying to do over here. So wherever there is a break, I'm selecting the two vertex over here and then pressing Shift D and moving it along that axis by pressing that axis key, which is Y in this case. I separated them from this part. Now I'm going to extrude it and continue with it. As we are doing all of it in edit mode, when we go out of edit mode, all of this will become one individual entity. So for now I'll leave it till this part only, and I hope you can complete the rest of it using this. I think you can model this part till here. You don't have to model this core part where the lifts and all are, because that would be too much of an overkill. But yes, you can model it at least till this wall. So for now I'm going to skip this part and let you complete it at home. Now that I've modeled this completely, I'm going to rename it as first floor. Now that I have modeled this, you know that also this there the height would be 3 meters, and I'm going to bring it over here. Now as I told you earlier, and you can also see in the facts for this building, that the building has total number of floors as 38. So obviously we're not going to duplicate it again. You can guess it very easily that what we are going to do next. Yes, it is going to be an array modifier, and for that we are going to this time not use the x-axis and not the y-axis, but we are going to use the z-axis. Now I'm going to type the count as 38. And you'll know that the building is already half ready. This was this simple. Obviously the walls behind this won't matter, and I'll again tell you why, and you'll understand it when we complete the whole process. For now, please understand that this is how we are going to proceed with it. The next thing that we are going to make is again going to be very easy. The next thing for this is this glass curtain wall which is surrounding the whole building, as you can also see in this reference image. So it is not going to be a big deal, but first I'm going to switch this first floor off. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to press, and I'm going to bring another cube over here and then scale it roughly to the thickness of this glass curtain wall, which can be seen using this reference image. Now what I'm going to do is I'm only going to model the left half of this, and the right half will mirror it. So now I'll again continue with this process, and if you want to try it on your own, you can completely skip this part, but yeah, I'm still going to show it. I'm going to extrude it, and then again I'm going to snap it to this over here. So we have made this half over here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to just mirror it over here, and I'm going to name it as curtain wall. The next part of the building includes those eye sections which are being used as facades, and you can see that image right over here, what I'm trying to say. In this plan, what you are seeing over here, these are the eye sections most probably which are being used on the facade as elements, and also most probably as structural support, if I'm not wrong. But please don't take my word for it. So now again what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in another cube, bring it over here upon any one of this, and then press S and then press X. Now I'm going to go into the edit mode and edit it a bit. You don't have to go in this much of detail, I'm just only going for the sake of it. So this is how we made it, and I'm going to name it as facade. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to array it. And then I'm going to increase the count. And I'm going to assume that because the distance is increasing, I'm going to take for the last one over here and then reset the distance to this. So now we have this over here as well. The next thing that we are going to do is, first I'm going to select that curtain wall over here. I'm going to give it a height of 3 meters. So I'm going to select that and then press G, and then first let me also bring that first floor plan inside. This is where snapping helps us a lot. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to array it along the z-axis. There were two options over here. You could simply increase the height of it until this point, or you could simply array it, in which case I thought that arraying it made the most sense. So again it is going to 30th floor. So now when I go into the solid view, you can see what I'm trying to say over here. Now the same thing, when I select this facade, I'll give it a height of 3 meters, and again you don't have to do this array thing. You could simply go into the edit mode over here, select this one thing, and then press G and then press Z, and then do it till this, and it would have made the process a lot easier, but that is not what we are going to do over here, and I'll tell you the reason for that. The reason is that just in case you want to increase or decrease the height for your creative freedom, and if you want to show something else in case, then you won't have to worry every time of increasing the height or snapping it to the other vertex. You would have the array modifier. If you want to increase 10 floors, you can just go over there, type 48 instead of 38, and in a click you could have done it. That is why it helps us a lot. So now again I'm going to use the array modifier and then make this factor 0, and then now simply I can type 38, and you know that the front facade of this building is already done. But this is not the full thing. You could also see over here in the picture, on the left and the right side, there are the same thing repeating. Now I'll rotate this along the Z axis and press -90. Now over here the count is a bit too much, so I will go into the first array modifier and decrease it. So now that we have made this part, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a mirror modifier on it, and over here I'll select the mirror object as the first floor. I'll select the mirror object as the curtain wall in this case, and now you can see that we have this facade here as well. Now I'll go into the solid view and show what I'm trying to say. So you can see that this was the first facade that we made, which consisted of these sections. Then I copied it and rotated it along 90 degrees on the Z axis, and I made this, and then I mirrored it over here, and I took the reference point as this glass curtain wall. So you have the body of this building, and this is also not complete. Now we are mainly left with three things. The first is the ground floor was not the full picture. There is another part which we have to make, which you could not see in that ground floor plan. The next part is that above this building there is another part which can be known as the crown of the building. This is the body and that is the ground floor. So after making both of them, we can make that, and the last thing is the overall site or the plaza where the building is located, because the context is very important in this case. So now for now I'll go into the wireframe mode. I'll select all of this, move it to 1 and name it as body. So now we have this collection which is named as body. Now I can quickly switch that off. Now I'll bring in the ground floor plan. Now what I'll do is I'll bring in yet another reference image which is going to be very useful for us at this point. And this time the reference image that I'm bringing in is going to be of the plaza, which will also give us the overall idea of the incomplete ground floor which you're going to complete now. Now I can first decrease its transparency, increase its transparency, decrease the opacity. I'll bring that plane and also explain why I have kept that plane till now. I'll explain it to you in just a moment, but let me first set it to this point. So now if you can observe this plan over here, when you see that over here there is another part which we haven't made yet, and this another part is this which you can see in the image, which is a glass entrance made completely out of glass walls. and after which this building starts, the entrance to this whole building starts. So to make that, we have to first do a few things. First, I'll go over here, select a plane, bring it till this point, rotate it along the x-axis and then press 90. I'll go into the z-axis and then press Ctrl 8 to apply rotation and scale. Now we have the correct z-axis value. Now I'm going to give it a height of 6 meters. Now I'm going to use the snap thing over here. This is how it helps us. Now what I'm again going to do is I'm going to go into the wireframe mode in the top view. I'll press G and then I'll press X and bring it till this point where it bend at 90 degree and till this point. So over here you can see in the image there are some vertical divisions. For our ease I'm going to take it as 10 or 11. So when I press Ctrl R over here, I can click 10 on the number pad and now we have 10 vertical divisions. Also over here you can see there is one horizontal division. So I'm going to make that as well. Now I'll go into the face select mode and select all of them and press I. So what this does is it insets the faces. For now it is insetting the whole plane as one. If I press I again, each of these individual faces which we had divided using loop cuts is being cut. So that is what we are going to aim for over here. After having done that, do not click anywhere else. Let this be selected and then press P. And over here you can select selection. So now what I'll tell you what we did right now. Now if I go into the solid view, I'll explain. So when we clicked P, over here that selection became another object of its own. So they are now both independent of each other, and this will help us when I explain to you what's happening. So over here, because we were going to make a glass thing, this will act as the glass and this other plane will act as the frame of it, and that is why I'm going to name it as such frame and then this as the glass. Now in the top view, when I go over here, I'm going to give the frame some thickness by going into the edit mode and pressing E. Now I'm going to do the same with this glass thing. I'm going to go into the edit mode and then press E, but it's going to be much thinner than that. Basically anything which makes it look better will work for us. Now having done that, I want you to make the left and the right part. What you have to do is you have to repeat the same process, and then either you could mirror it using this as the reference, or you could just copy it by pressing Shift plus D. Now I have already made it, and now we can move on to the next part. And this time what I'm going to do is I'm going to finally use that plane which we have saved till this point. But before that, what I can do is I can select all of these frames by going into the wireframe mode and then deselecting this image and this part and making them into one new collection, which I'll name it as maybe glass entrance, just for the ease of it. Now that we have made the ground floor completely, what we didn't do for the main body part is, now I'll explain it to you. But before we begin with it, I want you to select all these parts that we are going to be in the body of the building, and I'm going to use G and then press Z and then bring it till this point, turn on the snap thing and then snap it to this. So this is how the main form of the building is, and this is how we are going to keep it. Now the main part is that we have made each floor individual floor, but between those floors there is always this slab. And to make that slab, I'll now select that plane which I had selected earlier. I'll go into the edit mode and then press Ctrl and then give it 2 loop cuts, then scale them along the x-axis, select the vertex select mode and then extrude it. till this point. Now I'm also going to give it some thickness. Anything would be fine, but if you want to be too accurate, you can give it a thickness of 0.2 meters. And now I'm going to snap it to this ground floor over here. Now, because this slab is laid on every floor, obviously, we are going to again array it. This wasn't a necessary detail and it wouldn't even be noticed, but I thought that it is important to tell you, because just in case you are making another kind of project, then you might need it. And now again what I'll do is I'll press 38 over here, and now we have 38 slabs. Now we have 38 slabs also over here. Now if you can see this image right over here, there are these horizontal rings which run across the whole building, and I'm assuming this is to cover that slab part between the two floors and also maybe for structural support of these I sections. So for that what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this curtain wall over here and then press Shift D and then press X for now to make it to watch it differently. Now if I turn this array modifier for once and if I decrease the height of it to roughly around 0.4 meters or maybe 0.5 meters, assuming that this would be the height of this ring over here, and then snap it to this, and now turning on the array modifier, bring it over here, I'm going to the wireframe mode in the front view and give it the correct offset. Now there's one final thing remaining which we talked about earlier before we move on to the plaza, and that was that there is another part of this building which is above those 38 floors or maybe included in them. I'm not sure of it, but we are going to take it as separately. And for that what I'll have to do is I'll increase it to roughly around 43, or not 43, maybe 40 would just do fine for us. And similarly that is what I'll do for this as well. Now having done that, what I'll do is I'll go over here in the top view, I'll bring in a cube, we'll scale it along the x-axis, I'm going to the edit mode, add two loop cuts, then press S and then scale them along X and then extrude it till this. Now I'm going to bring it over here and give it a height of 6 meters. So this way we have also modeled this part, and I only made it because it would add that sense of realism to it, or in any project that which you are making. Now I'll also turn the columns on, and this thing we have to do with the columns is again very similar to what we have done till now. I'm just simply going to array them. Also, as I told you earlier, you could go into the edit mode and directly edit the height of it, but that is not what we are going to do over here. And first I'll give them a height of 3 meters. And then give it a count of not 38 but 40 meters, 40, count as 40, and a bit above that, 41 and 42. Now we have successfully made the Seagram building. Now we have to make the plaza of it, which is again very simple. If you can notice the pattern, it is again being mirrored. We don't have to focus on this part, we are only focusing till this point. For that, what I'll do is I'll add a plane over here, scale it till this point, go into the edit mode, select these two vertices and then do this, bring it till half, roughly till half would be fine also. Now over here, first we have to create this pool area where the fountains are at. For that, what I'll do is first I'll add some loop cuts over here for this creating this shape. Now I can add two loop cuts and then scale them along the x-axis. Then add again two loop cuts and then scale them along the x-axis. And then do the same with the y-axis. And again do that with the y-axis. Also make this one loop cut over here for the stairs, and you can turn this off for now. Now that we have done it, over here what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the edit mode and then extrude it till a height of 0.45, height of minus 0.45 meters. And you may ask why 0.45 meters and how I determined it. There are two methods by which I did it. One is the observational method. Now if you see this image over here, you can see that there is a person sitting over here, and if the person is sitting over here, which means that the height wouldn't be more than 0.5 meters or 0.6 meters at max, but because the person is sitting so comfortably, we can assume it to be 0.45 meters. And this can be confirmed by the fact that over here in this image you can see there are three steps which are leading to it, and considering that each step would be a height of 0.15 meter, so when we multiply it, you know that the height will amount to 0.45 meters, and that is what we require, and that is how I selected it. And I only told you this because in case you're making another building trying to replicate it in Blender and you don't have all the dimensions, so you don't have to have all the dimensions every time. If you have enough reference images, you can simply model it by observation. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to select these faces and then press X and then delete this face. Go into the edge select mode, select this and press bridge edge loops. Then do this over here, and this is how we made it. Now for this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the edge select mode and give it a depth of minus 0.4 meters, and this time I'm going to select this and increase the height of it to 0.2 meters. This is how we created this over here. Now we have this array modifier, we have to give it a mirror modifier, and this is how we did it. Now we can also make these steps very quickly. If you know the dimensions of this step, you can simply give it a y dimension of 0.3 and a z dimension which is the riser of 0.15 meters, and then scale it along the x-axis up to this point. Go into the side view, go into the wireframe mode, and over here bring it to the base. Now we are going to again use the array modifier and give it a z factor of 1, give it a x factor of 0 and a y factor of 1. So this is where we created two steps, and for this now I'll again click 3 and then maybe 4 as well. So this way we have also created these steps over here. Now if I can rename it as steps and this as the plaza. And now let me bring all these images over here and move them to first I'll turn this on, move it to a new collection called ref images probably, and then select this and this and move it to the reference images thing. So this way I can also rename it. The only reason I'm doing all the renaming is because it makes a lot easier to select if you cannot select it from here. Now if you go into this plaza view on from the top view, what you can see over here is that there are trees over here which we are not going to model it. We are going to bring them from another blender file which I downloaded, but we are not going to do it in this part. We are going to do it in the other part in which we are going to render this building for architectural concept renderings. But for this part, this is what we are making and this is what we have made. All of us reached till the end of it and we have finally modeled the Seagram building. If you don't know about it, you should read about this marvelous building and how it helped move architecture forward and what the architect had to contribute to the community. Having said that, I hope you got to learn something new from this video. If you did, please make sure you hit that like button. Subscribe if you are new to the channel. Hit that bell notification icon for the next update, which is going to be the rendering video. And also comment in the section below if you want to see some other building being replicated in Blender itself. Thank you so much.